You know what we should do? We should introduce ourselves. I don't think we do that enough. Hi. Kurt's currently adjusting the camera. I'm Zach Ackerman. I am an aspiring comic artist, animator, Air Force One pilot.
You know what made me think of is like that time in PAX where we went to the animation panel and they just started talking about everything except animation. Like, yeah, like
we're getting into that now.
I'm in like a band and I play like squash or something, whatever. Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck?
I was excited. We were like, you were down for that panel too.
We're both excited.
We read it on the list at PAX.
Okay, so we went to PAX.
Okay,
and there was a panel that was like for animation. And we're like, I want to do animation. That Zach wants to do animation. I love animation. I would love to get into animation.
Yeah.
And then we sat down, and then there's a bunch of panelists, and they're like, "Oh, why don't you guys introduce yourselves?" And then they just all started talking about everything except animation. They're like, "Yeah, like one is like I'm in a band, and then we're in this co-op thing."
This other guy's like, "I produce beats and stuff, and I'm in like a breakdance crew."
Yeah, there's Brad. I'm just like, what? And then I was like, "Yeah, at some point he's gonna talk about animation." And they're like, "Oh no!" And then that was it. And then they went to the next person.
It was also like 4 people that you could clearly tell have never been on a panel.
Yeah,
they were very awkward.
Which I don't mind. If you're an animator, that's fine.
Yeah,
but like I'm there.
Presence,
the name of the panel, like that one was for animation, so I wanted to know about animation.
Yeah.
And then somewhere through the introductions, I just kind of left. Could we left?
We both left. We're like, "Okay, you're not talking about the thing that this panel's named after."
Yeah.
Which
I feel bad. I don't want to like make fun of them.
No, particularly. Fuck them. No offense, you're told to introduce yourself and you don't talk about your animation. All 4 of you.
Well, that could have just been a titling error on the thing. Maybe it wasn't about that. Maybe it was just like
I think they said it was. I think there was an MC that said...
The MC
Anyways, I don't know.
So this is Zach.
This is me.
I'm Curtis.
Yeah.
I also want to make stuff.
Curt is the brains.
I want to make videos and other stuff.
Yeah. He wants to inspire you.
I don't know. Should we start with that stuff, or should we start with like?
Let's talk about the bullshit first.
The bullshit. So you've been playing Death Stranding.
Oh, we're gonna start with me. Okay.
Let's start with Death Stranding.
Okay, I understand this game is not for everybody. Like I can tell from playing. But if you're,
but it's for you.
If you're willing to buy into the bullshit, I think this game has a cool story. I think it actually is pretty fun. And
Did you watch the video game donkey video?
I haven't because I was afraid there might be spoilers. That's the only reason I didn't watch it.
There's no spoilers.
Okay, I will watch it then. I have watched other things by... Is it VG Donkey?
Video Game Donkey.
Yeah, VG Donkey. Okay, that's the way I've heard it.
Okay, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, so...
but you like it?
I like the story. Oh.
We're good.
Sorry. I think my biggest gripe with this game is like there's an awesome soundtrack and you can't just play it wherever you go. Like you can only play it when you're in these like private rooms, like resting and stuff, or like you can build structures like a bridge or something, and you can add music to it, and then like
you can add music to your bridge.
Like or I don't know if you can do it for bridges, but
so when anybody in the world walks on your bridge, they'll hear the music that you chose.
Yeah, you could choose the song from like that you've unlocked from the soundtrack.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that part is cool, and you can like. The game's really fun because you contribute to this world and helping other people get through it too. Because you never see them, but your things pop up in other people in your server, I guess. I'll be walking in, someone just built like an awesome like reinforced bridge to go across this ravine. But if I didn't have that there, like I'd have been like, fuck, I gotta climb down this thing and up this thing.
Because I'd be surprised, and a lot of the reviewers are saying this, I'd be surprised I'm interested to see how the game progresses as those things pop up more, as like the game will become interesting and easier or like more enjoyable.
Does. Dude, the first 2 chapters, like even reviewers say to skip it. Or get through it as fast as possible. Because once you get to chapter 3, you're given like things that are really important to how you play this game. And otherwise it's just pretty frustrating because you're falling and stuff. And
so give me like a rundown of like what you do in the game.
Okay, so basically it's a post-apocalyptic world. The death have come into like the living world and the dead world are kind of like branching and mixing together a bit.
Okay.
There's this thing that happened called the Death Stranding. I still don't even know what it is. But anyways, you are a porter, which is basically a delivery man in this post-apocalyptic world. And then there's terrorists along the way. Like, it's hard to explain. There's different colonies, basically, underground, Like, think of Gurren Lagann.
Okay.
But they're high tech, obviously, and stuff. And it's across America, and like you have to bring stuff to each of them, and you're trying to create this like basically internet called the chiral network that will like bring America back together by having everybody on this network that can let you like send 3D printed things and resources and communicate to all the other colonies.
Okay.
And you're as a porter, you can die and come back to life, and you can like kind of sense the dead, the death stranded, like
okay.
And there's things called BTs. Sorry, this game is not easy to just explain briefly.
Well, okay,
the BTs are the dead things you see like connected to those strands that can like grab you and pull you into their world kind of and shit. So
okay, but like what do you do?
So you deliver packages between these colonies,
Right.
and you also have to fight terrorists along the way. So you do get guns, which a lot of people don't realize, but like killing people is a bad thing in this world because you just add to the dead people, right? If you kill someone. And also there's a thing called a void out, which if the person dies, it'll create a crater. Like they're a bomb, essentially. So
what do? You run past them?
So you have to deliver your packages from point A to point B, and you have to like get through like snowy mountains, and if it rains, that's when the dead people come, and you have to like sneak past terrorists or fight them and stuff. And you have to just create different ways to get past these like ravines and mountains and cliffs and shit. Like you have ladders.
Have you mastered the art of walking?
I have. And yeah, that's something in the game you have to get used to is like if you start to tilt, you have to press on like the L2 to like, readjust, and then R2 like hold your backpack basically. You pee in this game too. You can pee. And shower. Yeah.
There's a cutscene for everyone.
There is, and Monster Energy drink is like the most blatant advertising I've ever seen in a game. It's pretty funny.
But they have a lot of actors in it too, apparently.
Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen's in it. He's like one of my favorite actors. His character is like pretty mysterious. I'm only starting to figure some stuff out about him.
How far are you into this game?
There's 15 chapters, and I just got to chapter 7.
Oh, okay.
And
how long did that take you?
I feel like I've played this game for like 30 to 40 hours. No, 30 hours maybe.
That is a long time.
I think so.
That is a lot of
20,
walking.
Maybe 20. It's not all just walking though. That's the thing. You also get like motorcycles and trucks and stuff, and like sometimes the missions are like.
You guys gotta watch the video game, Donkey.
Yeah,
I'll watch it after.
I
It's
bet.
actually jokes.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Okay,
So sum it up now. You like the game? You good?
I like the game. I can
game?
see how it's grueling for some people because like there are times where all your packages get destroyed and you fall off a fucking cliff or something.
But it's satisfying when you get there.
It is, and like the world is really fucking cool in a Kojima way. This is the highest concept Kojima thing he's ever made. Like there's a lot to try to figure out. It's a very weird world.
So is that your favorite? What's your like favorite thing about the game? The world.
Just like I think it's. Or
is it the walking?
It's the. Is it the walking or the running? No. I like that you can contribute to the world, like adding a ladder will help someone cross something, or adding a bridge, or like you can add like things that'll recharge your like. You basically have electric cars and stuff, so it'll like recharge them and stuff, and your legs that help you walk will recharge. You can like put packages that other people in their server can grab. Mm-hmm. That can help them. So it's just like.
So do you ever know what's in the packages?
No, it's like a little like cylinder thing you can come across, and it's basically like.
But like the stuff you're carrying, do you know what's inside?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It'll tell you.
Oh, okay.
And you can like rearrange how
what's
you
the most
carry
interesting?
things.
What's the most interesting package you got?
I had to carry a person on my back.
Alive or dead?
Live.
Oh.
And dead. I did both. But the live person I had to carry so fucking far through the mountains.
Oh, I think he was Video Game Doug was talking about that, and she's always talking shit.
Yeah, she said yeah he did.
She said some shit. She's like, I remember being in the womb.
Yeah, that was that was the most cringy moment of the whole.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that part was kind of like, Kojima, this is your corniest writing.
I get what you're saying, but like, no, you don't remember being.
She's talking about her fucking twin or something, and I don't know. It's stupid. The rest of the story is really cool. Everything with Norman Reedus, which is he's pretty great. Mm-hmm. Even Guillermo's character is awesome. Mm-hmm. But I enjoy it. I can see why people wouldn't. I think it's kind of refreshing because the whole concept of the game is kind of like how we have to stop in this current era. Like we have to stop like hating on each other and fighting, and like the political landscape and all that stuff. It's just about like we have to help each other, you know, like, and every time you play a game, it's like, well, can you kill people? Can you like, you know, can I shoot people? Can I do this? And it's like, that's such a turn against the game if you say, hey, it's not that much combat, or combat's not the main thing, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of commentary on that a lot too. It's weird.
I think it's like there's a thing about making something like it's like an art piece, more than like there's like Call of Duty, and then there's like super artistic, like because Call of Duty is like a feel good. Like you play it because it's like feels good. Yeah, it's like McDonald's.
Like,
it's like it's gratifying,
quickly gratifying.
Yeah, right. Whereas I think this probably is more of like an art piece, I guess, where it's kind of like it may or may not be fun. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you can read a story that might not always be entertaining, but it's trying to say something. It's kind of like Tree of Life. Yeah. Like Tree of Life isn't like a feel-good movie. You're watching Tree of Life and you're like, what the fuck is you trying to tell me? Like, just tell me. What are you saying? Which, like, I love the movie. It's an amazing movie.
Everything's wrapped in metaphors.
It's definitely one of my favorite movies, too. But it's like,
I've never seen it, actually.
It's not like Avengers.
No.
Like, Thor comes and bang!
Yeah. Exactly. It's like, do you want
right?
the fast food or do you want the...
Yeah, I mean, there's space for both.
No, there is.
Right?
It doesn't mean I don't love fast food. But
exactly.
I think that it's great that it's a kind of a commentary on it, though. Like that idea.
If that's what it is, then
that's what I get out of it a lot. Because like think about it, if you kill someone, like they blow up and it fucks up the world more. So it's like you don't want to kill people.
Facts.
And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Should we move on? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm good. I like it. But that's not a surprise. I'm up Kojima's ass. I'm up there.
So I've been playing Slay the Spire.
Okay, yeah.
A lot. And I finally beat it with one character, which I know for anybody who's playing Slay the Spire, I'm sure that's not an amazing feat. I'm sure everybody who's playing Slay the Spire right now has probably beat Slay the Spire many times. But I finally beat it myself with one character, the Ironclad. Yeah. So there's 3 characters you get to choose. If you guys don't know what this game is, it's a roguelike deck builder, which I don't know if there's ever been the combination of the two. There's been roguelikes and there's been deck builders, but I don't know if there's been a roguelike deck builder.
Not that I can think of.
I was thinking of making, by a side note, I was thinking of making a series that like explains certain terms, like roguelike. And I know anybody who's a decent gamer knows what Metroidvania is, but like if you're not a gamer and a casual gamer, you might have heard the term.
Honestly, just explaining kind of the like some of the history behind that.
Yeah, like stuff like that.
Cool, even if I know the term.
Or even an anime like shonen. Like that's a good term to explain. Anyway, so if you guys don't know what roguelikes are, just quick rundown is every playthrough is different because you get different stat boosts and different equipment or different whatever. But you're playing the same game. It's just every playthrough is different because you get different stats and whatever. That's generally a roguelike. I summed it up really quickly there, and all you enthusiasts will probably get mad at me if you're listening to this. But anyway, so it's a roguelike, but it's also a deck builder. So as you beat every whatever level, you get to add a card to your deck or not, which is something I learned early on, is that it's not always good. This is a quick tip. It's like, don't always add cards to your deck if you don't need the card, let's say. Because sometimes you're building into a certain strategy where you want to get certain cards. Yeah. And if you just add this extra card in that sounds good, it may not help your deck, kind of thing, right? Because every time you beat a character, there's like you get 3 cards to choose from. You choose one of 3. And then you always get excited. So, okay, just beat the guy, get the card, get a card, I want to pick a card. But then after a while, you're like, okay, now I have like way too many cards. I can't get the ones I want. But I finally beat it. And
I remember that in the brief like playthrough I did with like when you brought it to work that one time.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, I could see that after a while. Like, okay, like which card do I take? Like, should I even take a card? I'm taking too many. You know,
if you can get into these type of games, like if you like Hearthstone and stuff like that, this is like the number one casual game right now for me in my head, because it's like you can, it pauses at every turn, so you can just put, and I'm excited they're coming out with it on mobile, which is perfect, because that's like perfect, like you can just play a turn or two and then go back to like whatever you're doing, like get off the bus or like go to work or something. And the other thing the game, I think it does really well, is like it explains what's gonna happen. Like, it doesn't take very long to get what's happening. Yeah. Because every card, every effect, everything is just explained there literally. Like, they just have a little box when you hover over it, and it'll just explain to you what's gonna happen. Whereas, like, you know, if you learn, it's like Hearthstone, or even like, you know, old card games like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering, or whatever. There's like, obviously there's so many rules that you just will never understand until you like really dig in, and then someone has to tell you like, oh, that's a trap card, so when you attack, I can flip the trap card, blah blah blah. But Slay the Spire is nothing like that, and obviously because it's a digital game, things just happen.
Yeah.
But it'll tell you, like, there's no line, there's no trap cards, there's nothing. It'll tell you what's going to happen. It tells you the enemy intents. So they're like, next turn the enemy's going to attack. So you're like, okay, and it tells you exactly how much the enemy's going to attack for. So you can be like, okay, I'm going to put this much shield, which will equal the amount of attack so I won't get hit and like lose any health, for example. And then, like, honestly, you could calculate everything and know exactly what's going to happen. Like, that's the kind of game. Because it's like, oh, like, you can put vulnerable on the enemy, which means they take 50% more damage. So you can calculate that. But the thing is, when you're playing, there's this, I mean, I don't know if you and I would probably get this kind of like, I like making moves fast.
Yeah.
Right? I like being like, attack, defend,
exactly.
go. Like, I did it like I'm a pro.
Yeah.
Like, turn done. Right? And then, so you kind of calculate it. But the fast action of that is like, that's the fun part for me. I don't know why. Whereas I know other people would probably get fun out of like slowly calculating, like, wait, he's attacking for 50 damage, which means I need to shield for 25, but he has weak, which means he'll attack for less. So weak will make him attack weaker, but that means I can slip in an attack, but I only have this many energy points.
Yeah.
You know, like,
you start to figure out the strategy.
Yeah, like, you could calculate it out every inch, every little thing. But like, I like acting fast, and it lets you, and it has like a fast mode and stuff like that. But and that might be why I didn't finish it as quickly as I thought I was going to. But it is fucking hard. Roguelikes are always hard. The getting to the end. Like, I've gotten to the end very often, but beating the final boss was like, took me a long time. But if you're into these kind of games, like card deck based, kind of casual, even if you're just into like casual chill games, you can just sit down and play for like 10 minutes. You should try this game for sure. Because at first it was like, it's like $30, and I was like, at first I'm like, it's just like a card game, right? Like, isn't Hearthstone free? And stuff like that. And like, I was like, I don't know, it didn't really appeal to me. And then I tried it, and I'm like, no, I kind of got it. And I wasn't even like hooked at first. And then eventually now, like, fast forward a couple weeks now, and I'm playing it like, I mean, I beat it, so I chilled out now. But before I beat it, I was playing like at least 5 to 10 rounds a day. Like, I just found myself, not even like intentionally, I wasn't like, I'm going to play today. I was just kind of like, oh, I'm just sitting around, and then you start playing. And then and that's the other thing with roguelikes you find is that every level you get more stuff, right? Like, more stats. Like, for example, there's these relics that are like, oh, you do X amount more damage, or you get to draw more cards, or whatever every time. So you stack up,
especially like perks, basically.
Yeah, perks. You stack up all these perks as you progress. And so when you're near the end, when you're like however many levels in, you have all these perks that are helping you out. Obviously, the bosses and all that stuff are getting even harder too. So now you're all invested, though, because you have all these perks that you earned. Right? And this is a big roguelike thing, right? Because when you die, you have to start again all the way from zero. Right? So, like, you start a game casually, and you're like, whatever. And then 10 minutes later, you have, like, 10 perks, and you're like, fuck, I don't want to lose now. Right? So you get, like, invested very quick when the entry point is so low. For you to just start, you're just like, just attack, defend, no big deal. Right, so Slay the Spire, man, fuck, sick game.
What's your rating?
9 out of 10. But it's also because there's not too, I mean, to be fair, I haven't played a lot of deck builders and all the, like, these card games online, and I know there's a lot of good ones, but this one I like a lot. I don't know, like, maybe that's something that says something about it, is that I'm not into card games a lot. But this one really gripped me for some reason. Like, I played Hearthstone. I
don't like them either that much, but it seemed like very accessible.
That's exactly because like I said, it explains everything. They're just like I love how it tells you exactly what's gonna happen. It's like, this enemy is gonna defend. This enemy is gonna put some kind of spell on you. This enemy is gonna attack you for 10 damage. Like, okay, well, I will act accordingly. Right?
Well, let's do it.
Right.
That's awesome.
And then what else? Oh, and then I just started playing Jedi Fallen Order.
Yes.
And
I want that game.
It's fucking it's amazing. I'm gonna say it's amazing. It's at least a 9 out of 10 so far. Like, I don't know how long. I'm only on like the second planet, or like the third second and a half, because I went to the. Never mind. I don't want to get into the details, but I actually thought I was stuck in a game breaking glitch. Because like so this is what I'll explain it. So after the first level, you get to choose between 1 or 2 planets. And like, this one's the obvious one because it's like your main objective on it. But you're like, you can go to that one. So like, I'm always the guy that goes to the other one first. Like, you're supposed to go right. I always go left just to finish that part. I don't know why. So I went to this planet, and then I thought I got stuck there. And I even Googled it, and they're like, people are getting stuck there, and they have to like patch it. And I'm like, fuck. And they're like, the only way to like get out of that planet now is you restart. And I'm like, oh no. And then there was some random YouTuber that I'd watch, and he was just like, oh, just try to go backwards. Which I tried to do that before because it was one of those, those sequences like in Uncharted or something where there's like you jump to a rope and then jump to another rope and then you jump to a platform. So I tried it. I jumped from one rope and then I missed the next rope and I'm like, oh, it's because I'm going backwards. It's just not going to let me. Yeah. Like that's the glitch. But then I watched that YouTuber and he's like, just try it. And then I tried it again and I made it back. I'm like, oh, thank God. Wow. I don't have to start over and play another 3 hours.
Yeah, that would... there's no like quick save? You couldn't like go back to it?
No, it saves. No, there's no like... It's like... So it's modeled... The way it saves is like Dark Souls. Yeah. It's like... It just goes back to the last... I don't know what they call it there.
Well, but what is it?
Where do you save that? So they're... what do they call them in Dark Souls? Bonfires. Yeah. They're the bonfires. I forgot what they call them in Star Wars though.
What do they have like?
They're like these
like a droid
pentagram thingies or like these little engram things on the floor, and then you meditate at them. You meditate as a Jedi. You go on your knees and you meditate, and it's like
so it's like a pentagram or what's it?
Not a pentagram, but like just one of those grams. One of those grams.
Some sort of grams.
Yeah,
Instagrams on the ground.
Yeah, one of those Full Metal Alchemist seals.
Yeah.
On the floor.
Oh, okay.
Not a pentagram.
Should have been a fucking droid. Come on.
You just go to a droid.
Like BB-8.
No, but they want you to meditate and upgrade his skills and shit like
Apparently,
that.
like all the parts for your lightsaber in that game, you like when you build a lightsaber at the Star Wars land, Disneyland is the same or something.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of like theme park and shows and movies starting to cross over in terms of Star Wars.
So it is that like so you can get upgrade. They're not upgrades. They're aesthetic.
Yeah.
Things for your lightsaber, so you can change the way your lightsaber looks in every little way. It's pretty fucking cool.
One of the Rocco from Mega 64, he got a new lightsaber from Star Wars Land, and he had like a Rancor like tooth on the bottom, and it was like leather, and I was like, what the fuck?
That's so nuts.
Yeah,
it makes me want one.
And then I know, right? And he's like, and then he made a purple lightsaber, and it was like slick and like chrome and shit, and I was like, dang, like,
I want that.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, hey, he got a yellow lightsaber called the piss saber, and then the pimp saber for the purple.
Nice.
Anyways,
but yeah, so the game is like what a lot of the critics are saying. It's like Uncharted mixed with Dark Souls mixed with obviously Star Wars, and like it's like a bunch of different games. So it has like the platforming of Uncharted type stuff, which I haven't played Uncharted, but I already kind of know. I've seen Uncharted, like where you're jumping, your wall running and jumping to like a rope, and then jumping to catching the ledge, and then climbing up, and then doing all that stuff. And then it has the combat that is sort of Dark Soulsy, but not as punishing and maybe not as precise. Yeah. But it's also, I think, I give them a little bit of slack because they're trying to make you feel like a Jedi too. So there has to be some flashiness with like, and it's hard to be precise when you're like flinging a saber like this all the way around. Meanwhile, they're also like the stormtroopers with their batons and shit like that are also. So whereas like like the difference with like Dark Souls is like the attacks are very clean usually, or like the idea at least is they're very clean and obvious. Like even if the boss is like trying to fake you out with something, it's an obvious fake because he'll be like, and then you think he's gonna swing, but he just stands there for an extra second, and then you roll, and then he chops you. But the animation, in theory, which it isn't always, but in theory, the game is trying to be clean with it. It's like when you see yourself get hit, you're like, I got hit. Yeah. But Star Wars isn't as clean sometimes. Really? Because it's just a little bit. I haven't noticed it nearly as much as the critics are saying it, because I know it isn't as precise as Dark Souls. But I give them the leeway, like I said, is because you're dancing around like a Jedi. Yeah. Right? It's not like Jedis aren't just like they're like right? Like your lightsaber's flying around all crazy. Meanwhile, they're also with their batons. Like they have I just fought this guy, the Purge Trooper, I don't remember what he's called, but he's supposed to hunt Jedis specifically. Yeah. So his attack patterns are very wild and very all over the place. So I could see like amidst all this chaos of whatever, I could see how it'd be hard to make it super precise. Yeah. Like Dark Souls. So I give them leeway for that. And it's fun. And the other thing is they let you change the difficulty at any point. Really? If you want. Okay, so like that's cool. I did it. When I thought I was stuck on that planet, just to get around the planet more often, like better, so I wouldn't have to like fight through that stuff. I would just put it on like the easiest difficulty, like story mode, just so I could get to places because I wasn't sure if I was actually stuck or not. Oh, okay. Right, so that's useful. And then I actually think the map is pretty intuitive, so it's like a 3D map. So
you can like turn it.
Yeah, turn it and move it and kind of. Like,
I mean, you could do that in Dark Souls, can't you?
There's I forgot if there's.
Like you can turn the camera and shit.
No. I mean the map. I mean, like when you open up your map.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
okay.
like when you push the map button.
I see. Okay.
And then, like a really nice part of the map is they show you where you have where you can't go yet, like in a so that the thing they have Metroidvania cool. stuff, right? Is you unlock certain force powers and whatever that allow you to go places where where you couldn't go before. But it shows you on the map specifically like this red door, like all these red doors, and those red doors are like you just can't get you can't go there. It sounds like
they wanted the Dark Souls kind of type of gameplay, but they wanted to be a bit more accessible. Like
well, I mean,
it's easier to like
it definitely
navigate and deal with shit in that game. So from what I hear,
it is. It's a little it's easier than Dark Souls, but definitely like it's gonna hit a broader crowd because it's more fun.
Exactly.
It's just fun. It's one of those like it feels good.
Yeah.
But it also has a lot of like we're more whatever serious gamers we could call ourselves. I don't even know what you'd call it.
Yeah.
But more like looking for more to it. There has all that stuff too. Like you can. Like in, I don't know, Dark Souls, Uncharted, all these games have those things where you can pick up like some item and it can tell you stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Or like there's little spots where he can use his force and read certain memories and shit like that. And there's all this stuff if you want to get into the lore of that world and that story. And I should also say, I guess this takes place right after Order 60, what is it? I forgot. You know the one where they kill the Jedis?
What is it?
But right after they kill all the Jedis, Order whatever, I forgot what the number was.
69.
Order 69.
I feel like it's like 54 or something like that.
I don't remember.
Oh, fucking. Okay.
And then the acting's also really good. The characters are really good. They were saying, a lot of the critics think that the main character, Cal, is kind of blank. Not blank, like too basic. Too cookie cutter.
Yeah.
I don't know if I feel like that. I mean, like another like reviewer was saying like he's at first you think that, but then you realize he's just like a kid.
Yeah.
And like as a teenager, like just kind of figuring himself out as like he used to be a Jedi apprentice, and then all the Jedis got fucking killed, and now he's just trying to get back into things. And figure out his life, like he's gonna be kind of confused and kind of blank state, kind of like cookie cuttery because he's not like a fully developed human person yet, which I think is fair too. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I know like there's obviously games where the main character is a lot deeper and has a lot more to them or whatever.
Like Red Dead.
Yeah, of course, but I think. For like a Star Wars game, right? Like it fits.
They just wanted to make a fun fucking game, like
and it is a fun game, but it's also
it looks fun. Like,
it also has like some dark stuff in it if you want it too.
I'm sure,
like it has like I was listening as those stories where you pick up those things, or he has those memories. He has this force power that you can like look at a thing and then he can hear the memory of that what happened in that area. And then there's this one where I'm following it, and it's something I didn't follow it that closely, but it's kind of like these people are getting chased. And then one of them like tried to kill a stormtrooper, and then someone like died along the way, and then some of them like got crushed by rocks and shit. And you're like, this is pretty rowdy. If I actually paid attention, this would be a pretty intense story for like this side this side thing.
Yeah,
right?
Only.
Sounds
like a fun game.
It's a great game.
Excited to hear more about it. I want to get it at some point.
So. They're saying like one of their big complaints for a lot of people, like a lot of players, are like it's shorter than most games, so it's only like 20 or 30 hours. Or something like that, but
I see.
I was listening to the GameSpot podcast too, and they had a whole rant about or a little short rant, just about quality doesn't equate length. Like you can have like an extremely long game and it can be crap, but you can have a super short game and it can be like also, 10 out of 10.
These days, honestly, like if a game is past like 30, 40 hours, I'm kind of like, oh shit, I don't have the time.
To be honest, same.
Like you know what I mean? Like I don't mind a game being shorter nowadays, that as long as it's good quality, like you're talking about there. Like Death Stranding, I knew that was coming out. I'm like, this is gonna be a very long game, and like this is my one game this year I'm gonna do that with. I feel like
so we only have 15 seconds.
Okay. Well,
but I think we should wrap that part up, just the game part, and then we'll switch to the artist talk later.
Thanks
for watching, guys.
Blah, blah, blah.